Hey everyone, it's Matt and welcome back to Nerddom, where we love nerdy things, but we don't know it all. And right now, just released 5 minutes ago, is the season premiere of House of the Dragon, Hot D, and boy, I am excited. I'm excited. I was a huge fan of the first season in regards to acting, writing, cinematography, everything. Except for episode 7, I think it was a little too dark, but other than that, the show is phenomenal. It's truly a testament on how you can turn around a franchise that is left in not the best of hands, not in the best of way. Definitely with season 8 of Game of Thrones, it was left a smoldering mess just like King's Landing. Spoilers. But how did this show kind of bring it back, light a fire, dragon fire, underneath a fan base that kind of was left out in the cold with nothing, especially because the newest book also hasn't been written. So it's been a while. He's been doing a bunch of side books. He hasn't gone back to the mainline series yet, and a lot of fans are still waiting for it. I haven't personally read any of the books, I just what I heard. But this show definitely brought a lot of people back into the fold, into the franchise, and they kind of want to see some stuff done differently to the mainline show too, from what I remember. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. If you like what I do here, feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, really does help us out with the channel, and leave your comments down below. Again, spoiler filled, we're gonna kind of react to the episode and then have our reviews on the end. So if you want to bail out, thank you so much for checking us out. Otherwise, let's get into it. Greens versus the blacks. Who do you got?
I want you to put out your eye.
So sick.
No.
I love it.
Your eye, or I will take it, bastard.
Chomp chomp. All right, let's go. Ah, new intro. So they're kind of telling you the history of the Targaryens here. The greens versus the black. I'm not sure how I like that. I kind of like the emblems a little bit more. It was a little bit more hidden. All right, Alan Taylor, let's see what you got. Been waiting 2 years for this. This is gonna be a three-eyed raven.
We cannot wage it without the support of the North.
So sick.
To keep out snow and savages. What does it keep out? Death.
Oh, he's talking about his brother. This happens right after. Oof. I really don't need to talk much with this show because it's just there's not much to roast. There isn't much to roast. Dude, look at these sets. Look how many different sets we've had already. It's great. The Red Keep, the High Towers, the Greens. We see major battle lines here, or in costuming. So we really can tell the greens between the greens and the blacks. So this is the huge ballista that they used at the end of the old other show, Game of Thrones. It's like they had an old blueprint from back in these days when they had dragons everywhere. Okay, so we have a battle map on this side now too.
Path to King's Landing is through the Riverlands.
Mm-hmm.
We must establish a toehold there. At Harrenhal.
The River Lords will either declare for me, or they will meet Vhagar and Sunfire together.
They're picking up the pieces of her kid's dragon and her kid. So that's what she's looking for. She's looking for his body. This looks good. I can actually see it, unlike the Driftmark episode. That's my biggest pet peeve, was that Driftmark episode. I think it was shot day for night, and it didn't work as well as I kind of expected it to. This looks a lot better.
You've a zeal to act, I understand. I was young once myself.
I only wish to serve my king and my house.
He's my favorite character. Just because the eye patch.
You and Vhagar are the greatest single power in the realm.
He is the best swordsman, and he has the best
If it wasn't
dragon.
obvious before, it certainly is now.
Strong one. Aegon the Dragonheart.
Better.
Is that Viserys?
Aegon the Dragon.
They're putting a statue of Viserys in there. Is that dude? Is this the dude? That better have been CG, bro. That better have been CG. I need to see the credits on if there is no animals harmed in this episode, sir.
I'll search the next room.
That dude's voice is intense. It's cool. We're spending a lot of time with these guys. That's awesome. What's Emma Stone doing in here? Who'd he get? No.
Is she?
She's the queen, she is.
Yeah, she's the queen.
A son.
Oh. Oh no, they're gonna kill the baby. What?
We need to get our head and get out.
No.
They both look the same. Which one's a boy?
Maybe that one.
She doesn't want to answer. She loves her babes. I want to look back and see what she said earlier. If she saw this coming.
Wait.
Something. Oh, she did. Something about the
other
rats.
one.
No. This is how it escalates. Oh my god. Dude. Okay, some thoughts on the episode 1. So this is kind of the follow-up to the final season finale from last season, from now 2 years ago. So A, it's kind of a catch-up for the audience, and B, I mean, it's catch-up until the very last part. It is pretty bold that we hung out with 2 characters we don't know their names, and basically just follow them through the Red Keep. And then they do something that is going to be unforgivable, really. It's going to be another powder keg. I thought the original powder keg of the war was going to be just the loss of the one child, but the revenge in this part is going to be probably even greater because the powder kegs are just set up so as such, and it is a child. Like the other guy was he was older, but this was a murder, while the other one was definitely portrayed as an accident, but now I think Aemond is kind of playing it off as if he did it on purpose. I do believe it was an accident. I think he was kind of messing with him at first, but I think Vhagar, that dragon, is its own beast. You know, he may have been riding him now for, at this point, 10 years. At that point, maybe 6 years? No. It has been 10 years. So he's been riding him for 10 years. Because it was 6 in the last one, now it's been 4. So yeah, he's been riding him for 10 years, and at this point, you know, he's still the oldest, craziest dragon in the entire world. So can he really control something like that? This is like having not only a nuclear device, this is like having an H-bomb, like a super H-bomb in this world, having this big of a dragon. You saw Daemon and Rhaenys say like it would take both of us to take out Vhagar and the rider, which I don't know when we're gonna see the fight, the showdown between Aemond and Daemon, but that's gonna be so sick because they're probably my 2 favorite characters. Although the women, the Alicent and Rhaenyra, are really good too. This show is really just, it's hitting on every level again. The cinematography is doing really great job. I'm able to see everything. There's some really beautiful shots here. They really do shoot the show as if it's a movie and not a CW show. Weird. The acting is, of course, super on par with the last season. And this was the calm before the storm. This was everyone's, you know, getting their sides in order. We saw the Starks, we saw the North, which was very nice to see. It was kind of like coming home moment. And the way they introduced you to the Wall was showing that they kind of sacrificed one person from the North to go serve at the Wall, to don the black. So then you see the Lord of Winterfell and the soon-to-be king later on, or I guess not soon-to-be king, but the future king, looking over, and I don't know those two kids' names, I apologize, but he looks over, I think it's Jaehaerys. He looks over the side and he just sees the north. And what's crazy too to me is a lot of people do forget that we didn't make a 700-foot ice wall to keep out wildlings. Like we built this wall for something else other than that. And that's crazy how forgotten that story is, but I think the overall narrative of Game of Thrones has been kind of cool, and we kind of did want to see that. It kind of just fell flat on its ass in season 8. So now we're back into the politics. So we know how it ends per se, but we're back into the politics of the how it happens. And again, we wouldn't care how it happens if this was a different type of prequel, but since they have really strong characters, really strong work going on here, and you actually do care about a lot of people, that is how they're able to get a prequel that is drawing a bunch of viewers. So let's talk about this event. I do believe that is Blood and Cheese. Dude, I'm gonna call him Blood. His voice is insane. Let me know if his voice is real. I swear. How do people get voices like that? It's so weird. It's crazy.
I wish I had a voice like that. I wish I had a voice like that.
Everyone would fear me. Anyways, it's really cool what they did here. We kind of really see the underbelly of, the Red Keep. We go through the first level. We see Aegon once again being a nitwit, getting drunk with his buds on the throne, and he's kind of just shooting his mouth off. It's crazy how, again, I'm gonna go do another video later on talking about how this first season was built up into 4 different quadrants. It was like young this, young that, older this, older that. So with those 4 quadrants though, at the midpoint, you kind of do, at least for me, you had a sympathy flip. In the first season, you kind of had the sympathy for Alicent because Rhaenyra was lying and all this other stuff. And then it flips for me at the end because you see that Rhaenyra was able to have kids that are loving and caring, and there is like actual love between the family, between those mother and some father, the strong father. I shouldn't dare say that. I'm sorry. But they make a cute family, and they're brought up with like better morals. And then you have the other side then that Alicent is raising these kids, and they are just okay. Aemond he's not a nitwit. He's super smart. He's tactical. He's military strategist, but he's also a sword fighter. So he has kind of seen the writing on the walls for a long time, and that's kind of why he's badass. Also, I like the sapphire eye. I think that's sick. But he is kind of having to do this because he knows his brother is not fit. And I don't know if he thinks he's going to be like a warrior king, or like Aegon's going to die or something like that. Maybe he's just preparing himself, or he has just always known that he's going to need to be a fighter. And mostly, I think he was good at training because he didn't have a dragon. He was the last to get a dragon, but at the same time, he threw his, you know what, on the desk and said, hey, I got Vhagar now. So what are you? Largest dragon in the world. But anyways, we see Blood and Cheese do this terribly unspeakable act. And there again is no coming back from this sort of thing. There is no coming back. Killing a babe in his crib, basically, in front of the mother. And the other thing, I forget her name. God, I'm the worst. I'm the worst. She is not omniscient, but she gets visions of the future, kind of like Aegon had a vision. And so what she is saying are things that kind of don't make sense, but then it turns out that it was kind of like poetry of what was going to happen. So she has omnipresence. She is able to look into the future, kind of, but she doesn't really control it. She has sight. I think it's called the sight. I could be wrong again. So she said something about rats, something about the rats early on, and Aegon kind of brushed it off, and so did the handmaidens. And Emma Stone, I didn't know you needed a new job, but hey, welcome to Game of Thrones. But her portrayal in that moment, again, was tense, dude. That was freaking tense. That's how you do tension. You take your time, you draw it up, the music, you keep that on the weird notes. And yeah, she also caught Alicent and Kristen in the act. So that's gonna be a thing for this whole season, huh? She needs it, I guess. And oh my God, Kristen Cole, again, I had he had my sympathy in season 1, and then at the midpoint, it flips. He is so bitter, so spiteful. You know, he could have made different decisions for sure after, you know, soiling his cape, his cloak per se, but he didn't, and he is around, and he definitely trained Aemond to kind of, I think he's kind of like a father figure to Aemond, and that's why they're kind of, you know, jiving really well. Otto Hightower, I think, is going to be supplanted by Lord Strong with the clubfoot, and yeah, I think he's going to be replaced because he already planted the seed of being unsure about Otto and he's playing off of what's his name's ego. He's playing off of Aegon's ego right there. So, dude, so much intrigue, so much going on, and again, I'm glad we have it back. This is gonna be a weekly thing. Oof, good episode. Something huge did happen, and that's definitely gonna be the next big thing that is gonna set off the war, as you saw. So this whole season is gonna be warfare, and you know, we gotta tease it out a little bit. We can't just hop right into it in episode 1. Let me know your thoughts on the first episode of season 2 of House of the Dragon. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. And if you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. Also, feel free to smash the like button. Really helps us out here at the channel. If you're interested in anything else that we do, we have reviews on, of course, Acolyte that's going on right now with Star Wars, X-Men, and we've got some video game reviews definitely coming up in the future. Thank you so much and have a good one.